Sleep is an active process. We typically progress through a normal sleep cycle every night, every 90 to 120 minutes. What do I mean by that? While we're awake, our brain activity is obviously active. It's in a state called beta, low voltage, high frequency activity. Our eyes are open, the ability to breathe is actually regulated, the body temperature is regulated, all those kind of things. But as you fall asleep, the brainwave activity tends to slow down. So it goes from that beta activity down to theta, which falls in a 3 to 7 cycles per second range. And then also you may have some high vertex sharp waves too as well. The may occur is just a little jump up and down on the EG2 up there. Slow rolling eye movements they present during this stage of sleep. And maybe even some hypnic jerks, meaning that when you fall asleep, you may have a little quick twitch or may wake up and knowing that, hey, look, I'm going back to sleep, kind of a sign that you're ready to drift off. As you progress into a deeper stage of sleep, you go into stage 2 sleep, which is actually characterized by presence of sleep spindles, which is a high density burst of activity, 12 to 14 cycles per second, and or the presence of K complex, which is a sharp negative component followed by slower positive component dropping down. Breathing somewhat normal, regulated at this point in time in stage 2 sleep. Now, the third stage of sleep, which is known in non-REM stage 3 sleep is also known as deep sleep. In this particular stage of sleep, it's most difficult to wake you up out of the stage of sleep. The brainwave activities really slow down, 0.5 to 2 cycles per second. High voltage activity is 75 microvolts in height amplitude. Low frequency, 0.5 to 2 cycles per second in the stage of sleep. Growth hormones are released in a stage of sleep too as well. So they hypothesize that, it's really important physiologically to actually get the restorative sleep going on. So you need to have this sleep in order to get the physical restoration. Like I said, growth hormones are released. Children spend a lot of time in this sleep too, which makes sense. They're growing. They need to spend a lot of time in this stage of sleep to actually develop physically. After this particular stage of sleep, typically what goes on during the night on a sleep cycle is you'll progress 1, 2, 3, and you jump back up to 2, and then you go into what's called REM sleep, which actually stands for rapid eye movement sleep. You have a low voltage mixed frequency activity of the brainwave, meaning rapid eye movements where you have the eyes darting back and forth, left and right, up and down on the EG. You're actually physically paralyzed during this stage of sleep. You'll actually see a period of atonia in the muscle tone that actually flattens out in this particular stage of sleep because you have vivid dreamlike imagery that occurs in this stage of sleep. If you're not paralyzed, the likelihood of being able to act out your dreams and hurt yourself, punch, kick, or yell, or do whatever for somebody else actually can occur. That's called a REM sleep behavior disorder. So those are the different stages of sleep. But you progress through a regular pattern in a sleep cycle. A sleep cycle takes 90 to 120 minutes to complete. And the way it usually works is you go to sleep, it goes 1, down 2, 3, up to 2, REM. Then it goes brief awakening, 1, 2, 3, 2 REM. Each succeeding period of REM sleep gets longer and longer. So if you sleep in on the weekends or what have you, if you wake up, the likelihood of you recalling your dreams are going to be a lot more because you may wake up out of this stage of sleep.